Hi everyone and welcome to Studio MDAZ. I'm Debbie and today we are finally going to do what so many of you have requested. You want to see this Santa and how I did it with the blue and white toile and the fur. Full video. So that's what we're getting today. However, none of you could find, very few of you were able to find this guy. This is how he comes, just like this. Hobby Lobby, $29.99, 2023 is when I got him. So it's been a few years. So people are having a hard time finding him and they're like, well, now what am I going to do? Here's what you're going to do. Hopefully you saw my before picture and all you're going to do is paint any Santa that has like this resin kind of material. That's all you're going to do. Paint him first and then you can decoupage. So you can use any Santa. I got this one at Goodwill and didn't realize till I was painting him just now that he has a crack in his arm. So he's been broken before, but I'm not going to worry about it because everything will hide it and it's on really tight. Like whoever did the glue did a good job. They just didn't try to hide it. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. We're going to do this Santa and we're going to turn this Santa into a blue and white toile and fur little, something that you're going to be blown away by. In the meantime, at 6 o'clock this morning, I got up and did my Nutcracker in gold and white toile. So we're going to use my Nutcracker as the finishing and we're going to use this Santa as the decoupage because I have 2 funerals today back to back. So I only have till about 11:45 at the most today. So I thought, okay, let me get some done so you guys can see everything. But anyway, hi Mom, Mom's here. Hi Ivy, hi Kathy, hi Sandy, Lou, Donna. So if I seem a little rushed today, please don't take offense. It's just that I've got to get some, personal stuff going on today too. So, okay, so here's what I did. Hi Kathy Cortez, hi Kathy Hout. Hi, Patty, Diana Cease, Donna Trobo. Mom's doing so much better. Hi, Esther. Thank you so much for asking, you guys. Mom's doing so much better. She is home. She got home Thursday, I want to say, Thursday night, and she has no pain. Her worst nightmare is that she is on steroids now for at least probably a year and a heavy dose. So I told her, well, it's okay. Kids don't like skinny grandmas anyway. You're gonna gain some weight, but then we'll put you on the shots or something and it'll all go away. So this is what I primed with first. Dixie Belle Bonding Boss. Why did I do that? Because here's the color he was. I left his arm open. The whole jacket was that color. But I don't know if whoever had him before, if they smoked, because if anything's coming from a house where somebody smoked, you're gonna run the risk of nicotine on your project. And if you've got nicotine on your project, I'm gonna go ahead and get all of this. I wanna get him like white everywhere. Then we'll go back and antique him and do all the fixing. But anyway, you want to prime because this just happened to me in my other group. I did not prime first, something that was thing of it. Once I got done with my decoupage, all this yellow was coming through. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. So what I think was either there was too much dye in the yellow or it was nicotine. So just keep that in mind. And if you smoke in your house, then just make sure that you're priming everything first before you sell it. So, okay, so that first layer was the bonding boss. The next layer is just white paint. And I'm using, because it doesn't have to be perfectly white because we're going to put our napkin over top of it or your decoupage paper, whatever you're using. But I want it white. I don't want it gray because I want the natural color of the napkin to come through. And I don't really want it to have a gray tone, if you know what I mean. But you can get away with one coat because you just need to get it white. That's all. Just a form of white. Hi, everybody. Like I said, you'll forgive me today for not saying hi to everybody, but I do see you. I just know that we've got a lot to get to today, and I want to get as far as we possibly can on this. So just remember, Dixie Belle Boss first is your primer. You need to prime, even though you don't think you do. You do, because if you, and it won't come through instantly. If you start doing your decoupage and you're like, no, she's nuts. Nothing's happening. It's fine. You know when it comes through, it doesn't come through till you seal it. So once you seal it, that's when you see everything coming through. And by then, you've already done all the work. And trust me, that is a cussing acceptable moment. Hey, Beth back with Rekindle Blessings. I love that I look up and see you almost every time. But I've told you guys before, if you ever want to get a crafter's attention, look what Beth just did. Look at all those hearts. There is no way when I look up, I'm not going to see that. I don't see a lot of the other ones because they all look the same. So if that makes sense, we always see when you put color or something on it. So anyway, now everybody knows, because I'm not kidding. We had so many people say, oh, great. You know, you did this video with a Santa, and now I can't find that Santa. You don't have to find. This is the Santa everybody's looking for. But the reason why we all loved him, it was because he was white everywhere already. So he is perfect to just start decoupaging. You don't have to do anything. But, so, you know, there's just one extra step when you've got a Santa that's not completely white. And what I've got mixed in with my white paint, so you know, it helps it. Oh, let me plug my phone in real quick before I forget. I use some kind of a thick paint and mix with it. This is dark titanium white. You can see it's more of a kind of a tan color. I love it because it gives everything I do that little bit of like an antique look. So, and even for our napkins, it's fine because there's so little of it that I'm putting in, but it does help your paint get thicker so you can get away with like one coat. Hopefully that makes sense. Hi, everybody. Oh, I feel bad because, you know, my favorite thing is to sit and chit chat with you guys. So I took this week pretty much off. I went live in my private group yesterday and doing this today, but Mom was in the hospital for a full week, and you know, she's a good patient. She's an easy patient, but nobody wants to be in the hospital. Well, some people might. I can remember as a new mom, when I had little babies, I had some sinus issues, and I had to go into the hospital for, I think it was like 7 days, and 7 or 10 days. And Mom came out and took care of the kids. And it felt like a vacation to me because my kids were so little. They were like, they're only 18 months apart. So I forget, but they were probably like 2 and 3, 3 and 4. So that was a total break. Okay, and then we'll go back in and we will, of course, repaint everything that I just painted over. That's the gold and stuff like that. Use Bonding Boss now. Great, Donna. That makes me so happy because I am telling you, it really is a critical piece to anything. I'm on the, you know the big nutcrackers from Walmart. I'm on a number of sites with people that paint those big nutcrackers, including me. And some lady just said this morning, I saw it, and she said, I don't know what's going on, but my paint's not sticking to my nutcracker. Well, those big nutcrackers are plastic. And so, of course, it's not going to stick to it. It needs a primer. And most people think you don't need a primer. But I'm going to tell you right now, I prime almost everything now because I can. And why wouldn't I? It's just an extra measure to be safe. So I highly recommend it. All right, let me get up under here. Now I can paint the rest of his arm now that you've seen it. So I'm not gonna bonding emboss. I'm not gonna put the bonding primer on this arm so that you will see that just in case, I'm not lying, that if that color comes through, then you'll know that I'm not just whistling Dixie. You really do need to do this. Okay. He looks good. For the most part, anything else that's a different color, I'm gonna leave. Like I really did like the color of his. Yes, always prime. Even Beth says it too. Always, always prime. You will, it's just worth it. It really is. And you saw that it didn't take me that long to, as long as it took me to paint, that's how long it took me to prime it. I'm just gonna give this area right here. See, big areas might show the gray a little bit, so that's why I just want a really pure color on my napkins. So the napkin I used 2 years ago on my Santa is, we have tried everywhere to find that napkin and we cannot find it. We have Google searched it every which way but loose. So I'm using a different napkin today because I don't have any more of those other ones either. Yes, Mom's doing great. Thanks so much for asking. Hopefully she'll be back. I don't know about next week, but maybe. And then I'm going to Florida on Thursday of next week, Lord willing, because now I'm so nervous about whether we're going to actually get out. But my dad's 90th birthday is, his 90th birthday is this week. And so my stepmom is throwing him a big party. So I'm going, Bill and I are both going for that. Okay, so I've got all of his sleeves. Anything that was gonna be fur before, it's gonna be real fur now. So I'm just making sure I've got everything white, and I do. So let me just dry it real quick, just take a second, and then we're ready to decoupage. So it really isn't that big a deal. Oh, Evelyn, I know it makes you sick because you know what might happen either right then or over time. It is just not worth it. And I've had issues with it, so I'm guilty too. But I did this with you so you guys could see that this is all you have to do to get him to white for your decoupage. And we're just going to concentrate on the front of him. Okay. Let me get this cleaned up. Hey, Bill. Could you do me a favor? Could you go grab that box that's on the wall dividing the dining room and the family room? That box that I did yesterday. I want you guys to see what I made yesterday. Oh, I'm so in love with it. Okay. Let me get... I don't think we're going to need that again for a while. And I'm dressed for my whole day, so. Okay, got a question. You're painting the Grinch, Cindy Lou, and Max lawn ornaments for a client on foam board. Got the engine enamel. Let me see if it'll let me. Okay, got the engine clear spray to seal it. Is it going to work? Have you tried it? It will definitely work. It will work. Yeah, the engine enamel is amazing. No. Oh, the box that I just made. Where did I find him? I got him at Goodwill, and he was $6.99. So he was a great deal. Is there a spray primer that would work? Yes, especially on, if I've got now, it wouldn't work on something like this, but if I had something like this and I just needed to repaint the whole thing, every inch of it white, and then maybe work out from there, just, yes, you can use a bonding, stain blocking primer. It would work, and that would be great. So, hi Connie Keller, I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so let me show you this again. So he was all white, pure white, just like this guy. Thank you so much. And I got him at, I don't remember, but he is at either Michael's or Hobby Lobby right now, just pure white. I think it's Hobby Lobby. So all I did, he was pure white, just like the Santa. So I took this gold toile napkin that is gorgeous that I got at, came from Amazon, super cheap. And I had to, you get like 20 or 50 of them. I forget how many. Thank you, Beth. So anyway, it's a beautiful napkin. And so I did all of him with that, kept the gold. I'm still gonna do fur around him and some bling. But I just figured I would show you because it works on anything. And even if that whole nutcracker was done, we've done, you know, 12 nutcrackers before too. So you can do that. All right, real quick, because I'm super proud of it. Let me show you what I did yesterday in my private group. And I know some people hate that when I say that, but it's my reality. I have a private group. I don't make any money over here in studio. So in order for me to keep doing this, I have to have a private group. So anyway, but look at how gorgeous. This is just a plain white hat box that I got on Amazon. And it comes with 5, there's 5 in there, like I was telling them, like the little Russian dolls. Does the gold one have a thicker ply? No, not necessarily. It had 2 plies on it, and you, of course, just take the plies off, which is what we'll do. Anyway, this is just a vintage card I found at a thrift store or an antique store. This frame is this, which came from Target in the bargain aisle for $3. And then I just painted it. And then all this trim is just Formflex, which is what I use for everything. Formflex is a clay-like compound that is flexible. I have done hundreds of nutcrackers. Yeah, I'm kind of over nutcrackers right now. But then I added the bling and the stripes, and this is just scrapbook paper down here. The bunting is clay, Formflex, and then in between those is a pair of earrings. So I put one earring there, and then I've got the other earring there. This is so fun. So there's a lady online, her name is Maria Jurkowitz, J-U-R-K. I think I talked about her last week too. I'm so impressed with her. And she sells those classes on how to make them. So of course I bought those classes. Using it on foam, yeah, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. I would probably seal it first, though, Ruby. Seal it first and then work out from there. And keep in mind, the engine enamel has an odor. It has an odor, but it goes away after a few days. So I just leave them outside. Thank you so much. Okay, so here's the one we're going to use. I believe these are Amazon. I didn't have a chance to send it to Mary and Sue yet, but I just wanted you to see this napkin right now is on Amazon. It's a great one. And you get 50 of them, and I want to say it's like $14 or something like that. Obviously, you don't need 50 of them. Hi, Sandy. Yes, Paula, watch that one. Or I believe these are also, so if you like more of a navy as opposed to a royal, these are also on Amazon. You can get tons of them. So just go on Amazon and Google or do a search for blue toile paper napkin. What sealer did I use on my box? I used the Liquitex, which I use for everything. So obviously you're going to get your napkin and you're going to get the plies off. And it's going to seem like you got them both off. Look. So here's the first ply. There's the first ply and you go, okay, that's probably it. Nope, there's another one. Your napkin should be almost completely see-through. That's how you know you're at the end. Yvonne, thank you. I don't know how I saw that comment, but I did. Probably because I'm having such trouble with my hair. I'm on those shots. And so the first thing you're going to do with your napkin is I take all of the corners off, except for like down here. I will use a straight edge, not the corners, the straight edge. Because a straight edge, you can always see it when people don't take their straight edges off and they decoupage, I can see it every time. So take that off. Take all your straight edges off because you can feather everything in so easy. So here's what I do. The first thing I do is I take my napkin and I just kind of start breaking it up because I'm not trying to get my whole, I'll just put it in here. I'm not trying to get my whole napkin on it at once. You can't. It's going to look terrible. It just won't work. Trust me on this one. So you do a little bit at a time. So I go ahead and break it up into a number of pieces so I'm ready. And I just had one that had a little bit of a straight edge on it. There it is. Is that it? It's pretty flyaway. All right, let me take this one. And I'm not worrying about anything. I'm just gonna go for it. So this has a straight edge, which I want on the bottom because it'll lay better up against his fur, but I'm not worried about anything because I'm putting real fur over top of anything where there's like fake fur. I'm putting real fur on top of all of that. And that to me is what changed everything with my other Santa. And I'm gonna try not to get any wrinkles, but it's near impossible. But that's why you just do a little bit at a time, push it in. I did not get a before. Well, I guess I did, but I didn't get a before white. So will somebody take a snapshot? Let me pull him up. Somebody take a snapshot, Mary or Sue. So we have him in stages. We have him where he was the brown color and now this. But you guys, that's it. That's how simple Simon this stuff is. And then, not trying to match anything up. However, this napkin you can see does have not a ton of white space because you don't want a napkin that has a ton of white space, but it does have some. So, I just want to make sure that I'm leaving some white space here and there. So if I've got a lot of color, like right here, I've got a lot of color. So my next one that I put on is going to be a little bit more of a white area. Otherwise, your whole project's going to look just all dark. And you can see I come as close as I can. Try not to go over it, but if you do, it's not the end of the world. Kind of get the wrinkles out the best you can. Look at that. And then just lay it in. The reason I love the Toile napkins for this process is because there's no right or wrong. There's no up or down. It's just, you know, you just kind of can keep going. So look, so I know you're seeing that, but that's just a blank space. So we're going to fill that with some blue part. Now this one's going to come right in here. And then I use tiny little pieces to fill in all the areas that I need to add some color or I need to make it a little bit more cohesive. So right now it looks choppy and I don't like that. So that's what I mean. That's when I fill in with other stuff. So let's go around this corner. Thank you, Patty. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of, you can see what I'm doing. If that's a straight edge, I'm gonna get rid of that. You can see the straight edges really bad, trust me on this one. So, you know, now that I'm looking at this, it might not need as much white space as I was thinking. Because I don't mind it with all of that blue right there. I don't mind that at all. So I might try and fill in a little bit more of that space. So the next one is going to kind of fill in right here. You can see there's way too much. Because the last thing we want it to look like is pieced. And I can see it was starting to look that way. But I've also, there, wow, that was perfect. I got that design perfect on there. Yeah, so I'm going to make it a little bit more blue. Who would have thought? I was really thinking we wanted a lot of white space, but I don't. I want some, but I don't need as much as I thought I did. Okay, so now look, big difference. And that is all it takes to do this. And you can get through a, I can get through a decoupage project pretty fast. See right there, I didn't like how that was, it was just too blotchy right there. So it really does matter what napkin you pick. I've never used this napkin before, so I wasn't sure how it would work, but this would be spectacular. And this always is really nice. I just didn't want the flowers for a Santa. So does that make sense? Yes, Amazon has every single color of toile. I'm more of a kind of a, like this is more of a royal blue. I think I tend to gravitate to that more. So, yeah, I mean, if you're a perfectionist, you can definitely go in and match up everything, but holy moly, that would make me crazy. And you don't want to go over too much. Just keep that in mind. You don't want to go over it. If you can go up to it, perfect. But you don't want to go over it too much because it just gets, it gets hard. It really does. It gets hard to do. So look, I'm just going right in here, and it's on the gold too, but I'm not worried about it because I'm going to paint over that gold. But you want to keep whatever you can off of it. So look, just pull it off. I was so afraid of decoupage in the beginning. I was scared to death of it because I thought, oh, it looks so hard. I'll never be able to do this. And it is one of the easiest things we do. So with such incredible results every time. Okay, so over here, I'm just going to come up to the key. So you can see when you go over something that's already there, it gets a little bit darker. It dries fine, but it does get a little darker. That you just want to be cautious of it. Yeah, I can see. I don't like the white space on this. That is so interesting. I have never thought that before, but don't you think? I like him so much better when we're covering up as much as we can. So I'm just going to keep going with that theory. But when I'm using a different one, I'm usually wanting to leave the white space. Like if I was doing this one, I would definitely want to keep some. Janice, it speaks to me too. What's the best brush to prevent tearing from the napkin? Great question. Because this morning on my Nutcracker, I was using this kind of a brush. I think it's called a filbert. I don't know. You guys that are artists would know. But I was using that, and it was so harsh that I switched over to this, which is more like a shader brush with long, soft, very, very soft bristles. And it made all the difference when I switched. So before I switched, I was having some issues trying to keep it from tearing. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's just a napkin. And especially once you take all this stuff out, then, whoops, you know, when you take all the plies out, then it's really fragile. So, is there anybody that has never decoupaged before that is like, okay, I think I can do this? Because you can. Yes, very soft bristle brush. That is the key. Let me just get this in there. Again, I'm using my straight edges for anything on the bottom. But can you believe already? Look at how much we've got done. And when you put the fur on, I just saw that. Donna, my sealer of choice is, let me see if I have one over here. I do. Liquitex. And it's the high gloss varnish. So if you want a snapshot, it's backwards because I don't know why Facebook took that from us. But it is Liquitex high gloss varnish. Joni, what a sweet thing that was to say. Thank you. You know, some days are better than others. You've been using your fan brushes. Do you know what's funny? When I get fan brushes in my, you know, in a package of brushes, I usually just put them away somewhere because I don't use them. And lately I'm seeing all these little artists online using fan brushes for all kinds of stuff. So I'm a fan, I guess, because I'm going to start using the fan brushes more. Yeah, the Liquitex, you guys, I used to promote the triple thick and the Duraclear mixed together. Oh my gosh, look at him. Yeah, so much better and not choppy when we, on this pattern, to put it closer together. What's going on with my mom? Hi, Vina. Mom was in the hospital last week, all week, and she has inflamed arteries. So, yeah, but it was scary. She had horrible neck, jaw pain, and her eyesight was blurry. Okay, real quick, let me just show you. That was too hard to go around that key. There's a key right there. And so I just went right over it. No big deal, because I'll paint it gold and nobody will ever know. Thank you, Anna. You'll take it. I know. Well, now I'm excited to have them. But before, honestly, I was just like, I don't even know what to do with the fan brushes. And once I saw these artists, like they can whip out a set of trees or flowers in no time with a fan brush. So, but yeah, Vina's, mom's here today, just watching, just, you know, trying to take more time off. Okay, but look how fast we're getting that done. Let me go up in here. So if you can get yourself organized and get all the plies off your napkins first, and then rip your pieces so that you're ready to go, it really will save you some time and headache. It goes so fast. You've done large lamps and finished decoration, 1 or 2 days. Yeah. Yeah, this will be a quick project. And so when that paper is dry, and there's no wrinkles there at all. When this paper is dry, I'll go through and take a emery board or a whatever this is, or what are these? Nail buffers. Or I have the little gator that you can get anywhere, little sanding gator, so fun. And I'll sand all the extra off. So it's quite easy. I know everybody, honestly, everybody missed Mom so much. And it was a crazy week for our family because I had, Bill had to take his driving test. He has to take his driving test once a year. And so that was this week too. So I just think I had so many different things in my head this week that could go south. So I'm just thanking God that everything went well. Yes, Mins, I did prime the Santa first, always. Because you don't know, especially if you buy it, probably would have been fine. Like the white one, I didn't prime that white one because I didn't need to. It's already white, and it was a nice kind of a matte finish. So everything went on it really easy. All right, now this is where his arm was broken. And look, nobody will ever know, ever. Look at that. You'll never know. He's pretty handsome so far, don't you think? Yes, so they gave Mom massive amounts of steroids that she's got to start taking. They were giving her 1,000 milligrams a day in the hospital, which is just insane to me. But it's like a miracle drug. It helped her so much. And while she was in there, she had a complete overhaul of everything. Like they did colonoscopy. But what was really interesting is, oh my gosh, he's going to be so gorgeous. What's really interesting is, you know, Mom was in the emergency room 1 week prior, and they sent her home. You know, well, we can't figure out what it is. You just go home. You'll be fine. Goes home and not fine. Has to come back the next day. And apparently hospitals don't like that, because I don't know if they don't get paid or they get fined or whatever it is. Those of you who are in that industry would know. But man, after that, they kept her. They checked everything. But what they said about the inflamed arteries is because it was already affecting Mom's eyesight, that you could go blind. So yeah, it was like, Mom, where did I get this one? Came from Goodwill. So my Goodwill always has a ton of these. I mean, literally, they always have stuff like this. I do have a good Goodwill too, Will. I went to one of the Goodwill bin stores the other day. Not impressed. You have to really dig. Do you have to diet and exercise on the shots? Doreen, you should, but I don't. I'm not. And I lost almost 30 pounds but it took like 5 months. I started in May. May 6th was the first shot I had. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not an overnight success, or an overnight sensation, but it definitely works like crazy. But I do notice my hair is thinning. So, you know, like everything, you got to take the good with the bad. Micheline, if I tell you, I'm going to have to kill you. The one that I love is Thunderbird and Scottsdale Road. I think it's the best one. The one on Raintree in Hayden, I think is a terrible one. And you would think, so that's a really nice area, that would be a really good one, but it's not. So Thunderbird, and that's where, when we had our retreat, that's where I took all the ladies. They went there too. Doreen, thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, I had to get ready for these two. One is a open house celebration of life. That's the first one. And then the second one is a girl who was a good friend of mine for years. Her mother passed away, so I want to go, you know, to that. But here's what's crazy. This woman that passed away, when I was, so it was 20, I don't know, I think it was 2010, 15 years ago, might have been longer. But anyway, it was summertime, and I was over at her daughter's house, and she was there, and we'd known them for years, and she said, Debbie, come back here, let me look at your leg. And I said, why? And by the way, she is a RN and a VA nurse. After you stop the shots, your hair should come back. Okay, good. But I don't know that I'll ever be able to stop the shots. Anyway, she goes, come back here. Something doesn't look right. And I was like, what? She said, I do not like that spot on your ankle. at all. And I said, really? What do you think it is? And she said, I don't know what it is, but I want you to go get it checked right away. So about a week later, I got a hold of, I believe it was a dermatologist is where I went. And Mom went with me, and they immediately biopsied it. And Mom said that when they pulled up the, you know, the little biopsy thing, they just kind of go straight down in and pop it back up, that it was like black. So it was melanoma. It had started to metastasize. And so the doctor says, then, this was Friday, he goes, well, we're going to schedule you for surgery on Monday. So I think that's how serious it was. So I had surgery that Monday, and the only thing you can tell now, they did such a beautiful job. I have hardly any scarring, but they took like the size of maybe an acorn or a little bit bigger for like the size of a maybe dime or smaller tumor. Punch, that's what it is, Mary. So yeah, so I ended up with it kind of goes in because it's just above my ankle. But so grateful that she saw that. I would have never seen it, but I grew up on the beach in Florida with baby oil and iodine mixture. And, you know, if we could find tin foil, we brought that. I mean, just crazy. Oh yeah, this was years and years ago, so I'm totally fine. But yeah, that was scary. And Mom and I, this was before, you know, all the internet stuff or us even knowing how to use all that stuff. So Mom and I went to the library, and holy cow, everything said, you know, you have a 40% chance of living. It's just like the internet now. WebMD, I have a pain in my shoulder. Yeah, it's shoulder cancer. I feel like every time it's like they want to, you're going to die any day now. Okay, so don't forget to get up and under the arms and stuff like that. Yeah, no kidding. Amazing catch. And so I have always said, I do believe she saved my life because, like I said, it had already started to metastasize. So she did. She saved my life because I don't know that I would have. I mean, it's in a spot where I'd never even noticed it, and nobody else had ever said anything. So yeah, when she passed away, I was sad. I just want to go honor her. So that's today. Can you guys believe already how handsome he is? In Clearwater, Florida, did you know any of the Cornell family? I did not. I don't know that family. Hi, Yvonne. I know. Thank God is right. All right, where are we at on time? 10:44. Let's do a little bit more on the back, and then we'll start. Let me get down here. By the way, this lights up too. I didn't know that either. I did know he had a broken arm, and I did know it was lighting up. I saw it and I loved it. I think I just like grabbed it. But I want you to know, even a monkey could do this. This is something so simple. My granddaughters have done it with me. It's just, you know, to be able to have this look when you don't, you know, you don't have an art degree, as very few of us do. It is so satisfying. It's instant gratification, and it's instant impress. So, like I said, we're just going to do the front of him. I just wanted to get enough done so that it makes a difference when we add the fur and paint it and stuff. Did anybody else have melanoma that you didn't know you had and somebody caught it for you? Because it really is shocking. Hi, Debbie Waddell. It is a miracle that more of my friends didn't have it because, I mean, that's all we did. We went to school in the afternoon, So juniors and seniors got to go to school from 12 to 5, and freshmen and sophomores went to school 7 to like 12. And so, oh my gosh, the second school got out, we just hopped in somebody's convertible and went right down to the beach. And that's where I spent like so much of my life. Unfortunately now, Clearwater Beach isn't anything like it used to be. You're making me want a decoupage. Good. Because like I said, I was so surprised that so many people were like, well, I'm not going to be able to do that Santa project because I don't have a white Santa. That's why I wanted to show you this. You don't have to have a white Santa. Just get a Santa and paint him. You just got to make sure that you prime him first. You've had 9 melanoma so far. Glada, they've caught them early enough. But they said it will usually come back somewhere in your body. It's not just about that spot. Yes. John's had melanoma, and so has his brothers. Darren's with squamous cell. Yes. I am due for another full body scan. But I'm not going to lie. They make me nervous. Okay, so when I first started decoupaging, I would take off a ply and go, oh, yeah, that's great. Thank you for doing a Santa that you found at Goodwill. It made me see things differently. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I mean, you got to have, when you go into Goodwill, just have new eyeballs. Because I tell you, when I go with Bill, because he likes to go, I'll pick stuff up and he'll go, what? What in the world are you going to do with that? I go, trust me. It will be fabulous, and it will sell for a lot of money at my auction, I bet. And it always does. So, yeah, repainting, redecoupaging. I mean, there's so much. Okay. I think I'm just going to, I just kind of wanted to get this front around this corner so that when we do get the fur and everything on and paint it, you can really see the difference. You got the autoimmune disease. Oh, you have an art background. Not teaching creators. Other artists. Donna? Do I know that about you? I don't know that I do, but I would like to take some classes from you. There's a genetic component. There is, Eula? I didn't know that. But super funny, when I went into the hospital, there was a whole bunch of people in the waiting room. A whole bunch of my friends were in the waiting room. There was like 20 people. And so the night before, I was worried about everybody, so I baked chocolate chip cookies for everybody the night before that was going to be in the waiting room. And this new pastor from our church came, and right before I went into like pre-op, he says to everybody, and he was just like a, I don't know, like a hospital pastor. He wasn't our senior pastor or anything. But anyway, right before we went into the hospital, right before I went into pre-op, he says to everybody, let's get in a circle. And I switched napkins. No, same napkins. Same napkins. Still same ones. You get checked every 6 months, Glada. I'm so glad. Why are you guys saying wrong napkin? It's the same napkin. I only have these napkins. It might look different because this one has the plies off, but it's the same napkin, I promise. What are you guys talking about? No, it's the same napkin. I only have these 2 napkins out here. I don't know what you guys are saying. No, I think what you're seeing is this. You take the plies off. That's why you want the white background, because it gives you a true, guys are freaking me out. I was about ready to go, what? No, I'm not using the wrong napkin. But trust me, it wouldn't have surprised me if I did. But I think that's what you guys are seeing. It looks white. And that's why you paint your project white and you take the time to do that first, because it's worth it. Oh my gosh, you guys scared me. Okay. I think this is going to be the last one. And then let's get back to the front. Whew. Was that what you guys were seeing? Hi, Karen. It looks like a darker dye lot. No, it's the same exact one. Like I said, it's just that one still has the plies on it, so it looks whiter. So sometimes when you try to take it off like this, you might pull more off than you want, so just be careful. Okay, I think we have enough done to put the fur on. Although, let me do his one arm over here so that when I put the fur on, it looks good. Lori, you seriously scared me so much. I was like freaked out. Then I felt stupid. I thought, did I? So anyway, okay, back to my story. So he says, can we all hold hands, get in a circle, and pray? And so, you know, we were all like, oh, sure, yeah, that would be really nice. So we all get in a circle. And I only met this pastor a few times. And he starts praying, and he says, and Lord, I just pray that you'll be with Lucy's surgeons while she's in there today. Watch their hands. And I was like, who's Lucy? And then we all just started cracking up. You're seeing the darker side of the same napkin. Yeah. Yeah, we all started cracking up. But yeah, so luckily his prayers didn't hurt me. I still ended up doing fine. And they didn't find anything else then. And I have been clear ever since. Yeah, it does look darker when it's wet also. All right, I just need to get down here where the fur is going to be so that it doesn't, so that I don't have to do it with the fur on it, which would be a pain in the butt. And trust me, I repaint everything on these things. Like, I don't care for the color of the tree even. So I'm going to redo the tree. One more little one. I know I keep saying that. Research studies now show that cancer feeds on sugar. So does Alzheimer's, because I'm trying to get Bill off of all sugar, which is, I'm having a hard time with it, but yeah. Lucy Lou, I know, isn't that funny? We were all like, who the heck's Lucy? Okay. Let me move all this. And I don't throw any of this stuff away until I'm completely done with my whole project and it's sealed and ready to go, because you might like see little spots as you're moving around that need to get filled in. So that's why I keep everything. Okay, so let me show you this. I need to just kind of get this off down here. You can't do it until it's somewhat dry. But then you're able to just kind of get in there, and then I just kind of push it up. This one spot. See, this is why I keep these, because I just need one little piece right there. You've been practicing your MC Mocha. I know brown is the hot color this year, but I cannot get into it. The brown, the mocha checks, I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is. And the pink is a weird pink when you get stuff. Like, some stuff looks great, and then other stuff, you get it and you're like, that didn't look good. Let me get an X-Acto real quick. So I hope you guys think you can do this, because for those of you that have never done it, trust me, you can do this so easy. So that was just an X-Acto, or a box cutter, if you will. I just want to get it off of this fur. And if you can't get it off, like right here, I'm having a hard time getting it off, don't worry about it. Just paint it white. Just paint right back over it white, and nobody will ever know. So I'm just going to get a small brush. I think I threw that away. I did. Let me get a little bit more white. Hi, Jackie. I haven't touched the face. This is the face that came with it. So I have repainted everything else except that face. So look, and now nobody will ever know. Okay, so I definitely want, he was pretty dark. when I got, like you saw, everything was pretty dark on him. So I think what we need to do first is kind of clean up all the gold, and then we'll redo the tree and get the fur on, because I want to make sure we've got all of our paint done before I go near that fur. Let me get, I need to make the same color that he's got on because I really like it. So that one's right, but this one is not right. That's too orange. I'm going to put a little burnt umber. Hold on. Here it is. You just have to have a million paints. Did I just pull the same one? No, those are different. Oh, thank you. I love doing the Santas. I don't, I have a snowman back here, but I don't collect snowmen anymore. Maybe he's so dark because of the lamp feature. Yeah. All right. So I just want to clean up his hands. And I'm going to use just a small little brush for that. You can see just right there where I got some white paint. So before I put that fur on, I need to make sure I've got all these little details cleaned up. Otherwise, I will get it on the fur, you know. And I'm going to assume that it must, oh yeah, it is. Oh, right in there, there's a little light. I never even noticed it. You need my organization? Well, trust me, it took years for us to get to this point where we're at. But now that we're here, I'm so grateful. But it has taken a lot of time and a lot of money, not gonna lie, to get me to this point where I'm pretty much, I know where every single thing is, and I'm able to have a lot of it right here in my office that I love. Because before I was running back and forth to my old area all the time. And so once I went to Target and bought these clear acrylic, they're 3 drawers, they're bright, I think they're from Bright Room, 3 drawers, totally see-through acrylic. Don't get plastic, get the acrylic. They were only $15. So, and they usually have them. So that was, Lisa, I thought that was a great deal. So I ended up buying, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I bought 16 of them, not all at one time, but I ended up buying 16 of them. Okay, let me get, so I've got a little bit of paper that's still got to come off. So these are going to be some of the things that you want to double check is, and the reason why you want to, if you can take it off, take it off. If you can't, then just kind of push it down with your decoupage, but it will show. The paper won't show, but like a little bump in your paint, if that made sense, will show. So I do try and get it off as much as I can first, and then if I can't, then I don't stress out about it. Okay, so this is brown. I think I'm gonna get a little burn number on this too. Yeah, this guy came from Goodwill, but you can get these, look online for Resin Santa. They have them on Amazon. But my gosh, if you can get them at Goodwill or any of the thrift stores, always check in neighborhoods with old people. Because when I was visiting Mom in the hospital, I was going to the thrift stores around the hospital because Mom lives in Sun City, Arizona. And so I was able to get some incredible stuff. Even even Mom's Goodwill and Salvation Army out there are good. is to his bag. Oh, I can see I missed a spot. Look at that right there. That's what color he was underneath. So I missed that. So I'll make sure I go back and get that fixed. Get a little bit more paint on his hand. That's the strap that comes across him. We'll go ahead and do this back here. I don't know what in the world made me start that nutcracker this morning, but all of a sudden I was just like, huh, I'm gonna go ahead and do that nutcracker too. All right, I'm just gonna do a little bit of paint just so it all matches. I really want to get to our bling and our fur. Okay, his shoes are good. I tried to stay away from his shoes. Looks like I did a pretty good job with that. And okay, let's use, hi Mary White. Let's use more of an olive green. I don't care for the green that they've got on it. I don't know why, I just don't like that color. And then we're gonna put, instead of, well, I might paint a little bit of white on it, but we're gonna use that kind of stuff. It's my favorite part now, you know. Mod Podge Multi is what I'm using, yeah. But one of my ladies just told me that there's another new Mod Podge out there. So I think it's on Amazon. So I'm gonna try it out and see. Okay, so you guys know I never use one color. You saw my post about a nutcracker, maybe. Yeah, Julie's having a party with her girlfriends. Such a great idea. And giving everybody a nutcracker. They're all different. I mean, they're all the same size basically, but they're all different. Kind of like the nutcracker class I did last year. And, you know, just have a girls' night in. Great idea. Especially if you were doing decoupage like this. Go find nutcrackers, because the nutcrackers are definitely at the thrift stores. Anyway, I like using multiple colors because I think it makes a big difference. This is Hauser Light Green, Light Avocado, and Hauser Dark Green. So Hauser Dark, Hauser Light, and Avocado are the colors I'm using for this. So you can see the differences in them. It just will add so much more depth. New Mod Podge is on plaid. It's on sale this weekend. Okay. Waiting in the airport bar to go to Nashville. Mary, are you having any troubles with flights? Because I'm leaving Thursday and I'm worried that I should book a flight a day early just to be safe. Or are you not seeing a whole lot of issues? I read an article today that said if you are flying, the airlines have to give you a full refund if your flight is, and cash. They have to give you cash too. If your flight is 3 hours delayed, or obviously if they cancel it right away. So, because this is not your fault. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. And Frontier Airlines is already offering everybody their money back if they rebook their flight on another airline. Can you imagine saying that? Hi, Saveda. Yes, the Hauser greens are amazing. But look at already, like that. That is such a prettier color. You had to drive to Tulsa if you're flying in and out of Texas. Oh, really? I have a layover in Kansas City this week. So I thought, all right, if I get stuck in Kansas City, I'd be thrilled. Because that's where a lot of my ex's family is, but they kept me and I love all of them. So I would be thrilled to have a chance to get a layover. Obviously, I'm going much faster on this than you would. This would, I mean, normally if I was going to do this, I would obviously let some time between paint colors dry and all that, but it also shows you that you can do it really fast. The Nutcracker is a brilliant idea to give to your friends, isn't it? What a fun little night that is. Because I used to tell Nicole when she'd do parties for the girls, their birthday party. Oh yeah, see, I love that color so much more. It looks so much richer. I I used to tell her, it's just as expensive to have the parties at your own house, because by the time you get done buying everything, including all the paper product, everything you've got to have, it's a fortune. So I started telling her, just have them somewhere else. But I never heeded my own advice because I love entertaining in my own home. Much rather do that. Hi, Shirley Ann. Your son is in air traffic, too much stress on top. Oh my gosh, I know. I feel so bad for those guys. I just wish they would just be done with this. Tired of it. I know everybody is. And I'm just using a small shader brush for this. That's all I'm using. Just a small little shader brush. I don't know. It just looked old to me before. And by the way, the very first thing I did before I gave it the primer is I gave it a once over with a baby wipe. I know that doesn't sound like it did anything, but it did. There was a lot of dust on it. So I went over it with a baby wipe and it worked great. Yeah, that's who you really feel for, is the military and, of course, the air traffic controllers. But I don't care what side of the fence you're on. I do think Congress should not get paid. I think that if our people can't get paid, you do not deserve to get paid either. And I think that would probably make a big difference for both sides on continuing this nonsense. Okay, love that color. So all the 3 different colors made a big difference. A skating rink was always great for birthday parties. Yeah, when we were little, when we were kids, that's what Mom and I lived for, was roller skating. Okay, and now I'm going to grab just some white. Is that the white? Yeah. I'm going to grab just some white, do a little bit, not too much. So easy. There's nothing better than taking something that somebody was going to throw away or get rid of and give it a whole new life. Kind of like my dog. It still makes me crazy. Okay, I'm just going to go back in and clean that up. Exactly. I agree, Mary. Nobody should. Crazy. Okay, I think that's sweet. And while it's a little wet, let's just see if any of this stuff will stick to it. Yeah, I think all of America agrees about that. Like, you don't deserve to get money. Let me see. If not, then we'll let it dry and then I'll seal it. But I just don't want too much. Oh, I kind of like how much stayed on it. Hard for you guys to see, but I'll seal it and we'll give it another hit. All right, so now we need gold. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing good. Check the top of the lantern. What do you mean? I don't see anything. Should I be seeing something? Becky Hemseth, thank you so much. That's a sweet thing to say. Okay, so we're going to use black, but here's what I've learned over the last couple days. I've been doing this faithfully, and I'm liking the outcome so much better. Let me get a gross brush. Okay, so rather than just give it, sounds like, yeah, Deb, that's funny. That's funny. All right, so we're gonna do gold where it was gold, but I'm going to put some traditional burnt umber on it first and then just dry brush the gold. Otherwise, the gold, as you can see, because I didn't do it with him and now I've got to go back and do them again. I don't like that gold. It looks cheap. So, but if you do it like this, I painted these, all this trim was just white, and I painted it burnt umber and a little bit of black first, then I dry brushed the gold over top of it. What a big difference. Same thing with the frame. Huge difference. So, just not a huge fan of just the gold anymore. Okay, so here's some of the gold is this little horn, some of Santa's toys. So anywhere where it was just going to be gold, that's what I'm putting the brown on right now. His belt is a gold, like a gold sash with tassels. I think I'm going to have to add some black in this too. And you can paint, like this is where I had gotten some of the paper, some of the napkin right on his belt. No big deal. Just paint right over it. Blue and white checks on the top of the lantern would be darling. It would be. Thank you, Lorraine. I'm so happy you guys are finally seeing this. You can't believe the hate mail I have gotten about that Santa video that they can't see the whole video. And I've told you guys this before. But if you're new here, those videos that we post, they are teaser videos that we do for advertising purposes, but you can usually see most of my videos on YouTube, unless it's something that we've done in my private group. Then if it's in my private group, then you can't see it. No, that's what that sounded like. You can't see it. So just keep that in mind when you get mad at me because you can't see the whole video. The video is there. It's on YouTube. Not all of them, but some of them. I lost my page back a couple years ago. So some of our older videos are just there in the abyss. They're just gone forever. Okay, so you can see I'm dipping in the black and the brown here. First, that's my first deal. And don't worry if you need to touch up. You can always put a little white there and then put another piece of your napkin right over top of it. So don't stress about any of that stuff. But more, definitely more of the burnt umber than the black, because the black will take over. But I just thought it gave it such a better antique look than just the straight black. The brown, I don't know what it does, but it helps, makes a difference. Okay, did I get everything? A little bit there. All right, what else did he have gold? I don't think anything else. I think that was it. Nothing on his hat. Okay, so now, why hate mail? People are so cruel. Yeah, because they hate that I have a private group, but I have to. Nobody, I don't know, it really does make me laugh that people think we are over here killing it with money on these pages, and there is no money. The only way there's money is if you're advertising, which it used to be big money, but it's not anymore. And if you're an affiliate, but I have chosen to limit all my affiliates. Like I have very few affiliates because I just want to make sure that if I recommend something, it's because I truly love it. And, but there's nothing wrong with having affiliates. I just, we're a little bit picky about that. The snap on his bag. Okay. I'll go back and grab that. I just want to get this. You saw where it was, let me move these. It had gotten some of the blue on the napkin the dye had kind of come off onto his fur. We're going to paint over it, or we're going to put real fur over it, so I'm not too worried about it. But I just don't want you to see that. Okay, let me get in here. Okay, the snap on his bag. I'm okay with the way that looks. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, do we have time? Yeah, let's do the top. I thought that was a cute idea, whoever had that idea, of a little bit of blue and white check on the top of the lantern was a super cute idea. So let's do that. If I had a blue marker, which I might, I will do this with just a marker. But remember, when you've got any of these napkins, you usually have to add a little bit of purple to your navy blue or your blue, whatever color you're using. Because none of these are like true blues. They're either royals or they are definitely lean towards purple. Okay, oh, I can already tell. Yes, that was a great idea. That's gonna be super cute. Okay, there's a little toy right there, but I don't know what it goes with, so I'm not gonna worry about that just yet. And I'm just gonna clean up his beard a little bit because we're gonna antique it, but I didn't care for the antiquing they had. So we're gonna do our own antiquing. Oh, somebody just said his hat. Yes, let's put a piece of decoupage on his hat. Hi Brenda, I got the Santa at my Goodwill, but any Santa works. He was all brown, so all I did was paint him white first and then started decoupaging him. Thank you, Karen. I am too. I'm really happy with him. And I'm really happy we finally got to do this. I've been meaning to do it for a while. But yeah, people get mad because those videos we're doing, they're just snippets. And they want to see the whole video. Oh, wow, what a difference that just made. Big difference. Yeah, that was a game changer for him, wasn't it? It really was. White above his bag. Yes, I know. I screwed that up. That was my fault. I didn't put it... when I was painting him to begin with, I missed that whole spot. So I'm going to have to paint that white. But I just want to make sure we have time for the fur and the bling. So I'm going to just keep moving and then I'll go back and do whatever touch-up I need to do. But you guys have hung in with me this long, so now I want to make sure we get as much done as we can. A lot of people say, what about diamond dust too? Yeah, diamond dust is great. Diamond dust would work like on the tree, but anywhere you've got to touch him or pick him up or move him or kids might be touching him, I don't care for the diamond dust for that reason. Do I go to the Goodwill off of Grand before the 101 to Sun City? Okay, did I go to the Goodwill off of Grand? That's not where I got this one, but that is a good one. The other one is Micheline, right by your house, the one at Lake Pleasant and Beardsley are right in that area. Is a great one. Oh my gosh, look at the difference. Okay, all right. Let's see. Now let's get the gold on him. And then, I know, Sonia, I love that. I assume it's Sonia, not Mark, but if it's Mark, I apologize. Use diamond dust on all the white. Yeah, that I could do. I could definitely do that on the white. Okay, so I'm using my liquid leaf. And by the way, one of our ladies said that Michaels now carries, did she say it was a Michaels brand? But they carry it with a regular lid and not these horrendous lids that get stuck. So check out Michaels for that. Thank you. I love this Santa too. So I'm dipping in my gold and then I'm wiping it back off on my paper towel because I just want to dry brush. Move that's probably right in your way, but look at it, just gives it that antique look that you've got to have. All right, so look at his belt. Same thing. Now you've got that black and brown coming through all of the ripples in it. And if you didn't do that first, all you're going to see is gold. And you're not going to have all that attention to detail. So dip in, wipe off, and then go right to it. If you've never used this gold, you want the classic gold. There's other colors of this stuff, but they're ugly. So we only use the classic gold. I shouldn't say they're ugly because somebody else might really like them. That was rude. But they're not my favorite. Okay, now look at his gold. Just really step that up. Let me get right in here. I'm gonna put just a coat of my gold over this gold, just so all my gold matches. Is that what somebody was talking about before, that spot? It's pretty close, but it wasn't exact, and now it is. Okay, so happy, so happy with him. Hi, Terry. Okay, happy to get that put away. I'm always so nervous about that. We're gonna take a little bit of wax and do his beard. Let's see, what wax do we want to use? What do I have up here? Let's just use this antiquing gel. You can use the Bare Dark Wax. This is antiquing gel by Pen Art. It's a nice color, but I like this one. Okay, so I'm gonna dip in. And I'm just gonna do a little bit at a time because I don't want it to have a lot of time to sit in there. And then I'm gonna take a baby wipe and wipe it right back off so that it only stays in the crevices. Yeah, that worked really well. And you can always go back over it with your white if you got too much. Let's do his little mustache. Talk about instant gratification. This is too. But you can use either a clear wax to pull it back like this, or I just use a baby wipe because I think it's just as easy and maybe a little bit faster. And I can really get in there if it got too brown. Oh, wow. He looks really good. And don't forget his eyebrows. Okay, so, and obviously we're gonna have to do his beard, or his hair. So when we get the fur on, it's gonna make that fur really nice and bright white. And that is our next step. So just brush it on. You can even put on with your finger, it doesn't matter. And then give it some pressure with your baby wipe and it'll just come right off. Man, he's gotten himself a little dapper spa day today, that's for sure. Are you going to paint a nativity set this year? Yes, I've got a couple of them. You never thought of using baby wipes, Helen? I don't have too many great ideas, but I always think this works better than anything. Okay, look at how that just, gosh, his eyes are kind of weird, aren't they? You know what he needs? He needs some blush. I feel like his cheeks are not rosy enough. Let's get that. I tell you guys all the time, but my desk, when I get done with one of these, is such a disaster. of your moms and your ceramic painting outings. Oh, how sweet. Is your mom still alive? I'm adding a little bit of white and a baby white because I don't want very much on this. I just want, that's too much white. I just want a little bit of rosy cheek right there. Look at that. So much better. I just think he looks happier. And I'm going to put a little bit bigger sparkle in his eye. Because what is it we say? Big eyes are happy eyes. I don't know if that's true, but... so I just want... Make sure you got a fresh petal, which I do. Dip it in once, tap it on your plate, and then go right to his eyes. And... once they tone down a little bit. Right now they look like, whoa, what is that all about? Let me do that second one over. But I do like a bigger eye, a bigger sparkle. All right, let's get rid of this stuff. So we are ready now to get our fur on. What colors can I mix together to make a good gingerbread color? This is an incredible gingerbread color, and this is Sable Brown by Decor. Sable Brown, because look, it's this color basically. And if you grab a little bit of burnt umber with it, mix it together, not too much of this, but a little bit, you're gonna get a great color. This is Honey Brown. It's not bad, but you can see the difference. This is gingerbread. All right, we've got to seal him. Let's get him sealed. Let me get a little cup. You want to get all this stuff done before the fur, because trust me, you don't want to be doing this with the fur. You're going to get it on it. It's going to be a disaster. So just do all this ahead of time. All right, let's get in here. And you guys know, once you do, the second you put that sealer on it, he just comes to life. I'm not going to touch his eye yet because it's still wet. But this is the Liquitex, which there's nothing better. Now, I'm not going to do where we're doing the fur. I don't need to seal that. But I'm going to do everywhere else where we're not going to put anything else on it. And the tree, we're going to add more of the snowflakes. So I'm going to do the tree last, and then we're going to add the snowflakes. Look at this. It just makes such a big difference. And you do want to seal over all your decoupage. But you can see, I'm not trying to be that careful or anything. You just got to get a coat of it on there. Sorry if I'm missing your comments. I'm kind of in quick gear now. Virginia, thank you. What a sweet thing to say. I appreciate it. I mean, that is my dream. That's what I love to do, is just be able to give stuff new life that somebody might have thought was trash. I know that sounds cliche, but like I said, I'll go back in. I know I've got some touch-up areas, so I'll go back in later on and get all that done. But let's get his shoes. I think the gloss on everything is just what it should be. I just think it looks so much better. And we're only going to do the fur up to here because we didn't do there to there, so don't worry about that. Oh, I forgot to do the back, or did I? Yeah, I guess I did. Now, a lot of people say, well, why don't you just put your decoupage on with your sealer? You can, and I have on small projects, but on something like this, I just prefer the Mod Podge. I think you're just guaranteed a better stick, but you do you. If you want to save a step and do that, then that's on you. And I'm just doing this part around where his hand is. Okay, let me get his eyeball because he looks creepy right now. I feel like that's gonna tip over. Okay, better. Well, they look kind of freaky right there. I promise he's not. All right, let me dry. This morning, I washed all my brushes. Took me about 35 minutes. I had so many, way too many, and I know better. Look at that shine on him, it's so good. Get his shoes dry. I forgot to do his hand, his mittens. Can't believe I forgot to do his mittens. Let me do those really quick. How are we doing on time? All right, we're still good. Watch, Bill's gonna come in a minute. I think I should see how handsome Bill looks today.
You talking?
Yeah, I'm still live. Do you want to come say hi? I said you look so handsome today. He doesn't have his sport coat on, but be careful. You don't kill yourself in here. I know, be careful. Keep coming.
I'm coming.
Now come. You're gonna have to come way down. There he is. All dressed up. Nowhere to go.
Well, pretty soon we're gonna go.
Yeah. Okay. So now that everything else is dry, now I can do the flakes on the snow on the tree. And again, I want to do this. Trying to get all this stuff done before you start the fur. Where is it? Here it is. So you got to do a little bit of, just a little bit at a time. So it doesn't dry too fast. Yeah, I will finish everything later, but I'm impressed that we got a lot done today. Enough that you guys could be on your own and you could figure it out. Because I've shown you basically everything. But the decoupage is, it is easy and it is satisfying and it's exciting to see it come to life. Shake this off. Anyway, now you can see it. I get some of it off. Yeah, I like that. It's cool. It's probably just enough. I really didn't even need to do the white on it because this really worked. Okay, sweet. All right, here we go. So, what kind of fur do I get and where do I get it? So, this faux fur is my favorite, but I can't remember where I got it. Does anybody recognize that? Oh, Treehouse. Is that Dollar Tree? Treehouse? If it is, I'd be shocked because it's $2.49. Anyway, look this up. It's called faux fur, fur trim white, 2 inches by 30 inches. Great price. So that's one option. This you can buy at, I believe, Hobby Lobby. And it's just, you know, you just buy a section of it, or it comes in ribbon. Now I'm trying to remember. It might be ribbon. Actually, I think it is. I think it's fur ribbon. So that's another option. Or here's another one. Buy up a nasty Santa at Goodwill or at a thrift store if their fur is in good shape, and take the fur. Throw the rest away if he's that bad, but keep the fur. Rhonda, you think it is? Okay, good. Or here's another option. I was at Goodwill this week and I thought, oh my gosh, that would make really pretty fur. So this was $10, but look at all of that. Like there's a ton on this and I wouldn't wear it. So go get yourself a little fur. How funny is that? Okay, but I'm gonna use this because I love this stuff. So if we can find this, Mary and Sue, this would be amazing to, because I need to get more. This is all I have left. Let me get this staple out. Okay. You think it's Hobby Lobby? Okay. So 2 by 30 is what this is. And we're going to cut it in half because obviously that's awful big. So let's cut it right down the center. And now I'm going to have 60 inches, which is amazing. Let's just start. Oh yeah. Okay. So you only need about an inch. Oh my gosh. The fur is everything. So let's see, what do we want to put it on with? Where's this new stuff I just got that I'm obsessed with? You love the animal print? I know, I just didn't love it with this. If he was wearing like a green, like a forest green velvet coat, that would be gorgeous. But hello, Diana. Instant Bond Adhesive, Tight Bond. Let me see. Wood, metal, stone, plastic, ceramic, glass, and more. It's an instant bond. Let's just try. I just want to see. It might not work with fabric. Hold on. We're just checking. Now I didn't seal any of the bottom because you don't have to. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's see. It might not work on fabric, and if it doesn't, then we'll use tacky glue or Fabri-Tac. Can you believe we got this much done? I'm a little shocked. It's sticking, so I'm gonna keep going with it. You could actually use hot glue here too, so whatever floats your boat, whatever blows your dress up. But yeah, any of that will work. Oh, the animal fur on my Nutcracker would be so pretty. That's a great idea. Cut fur is razor from the back. Didn't know that. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at the difference the fur makes. This just went up to over $100 Santa. If you're in a boutique, these are so expensive. I would say he right now, especially with lighting up and all the other stuff, he would probably run about $125 to $150 in a boutique. At a craft show, you could probably get like $89. Craft shows are always a crapshoot. Okay, I'm just gonna cut this piece up. I don't wanna keep going around because I still have to decoupage that other side. So I don't wanna keep going right now. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to get this to stick a little bit better. I mean, honestly, you could absolutely use hot glue right here. And I might have to, because for some reason, coming around this corner, it's not sticking. And I don't know why, unless it just had something on it. The only thing is that hot glue gets in your fur, but you'd pay $200 for him, Cynthia? Yeah, I mean, you guys know, in a boutique, they're expensive. Okay, we're probably gonna have to cut it again. Let's see. Or we need to use the bigger piece. Okay, so then you're gonna do, oops, you're gonna do his arms. I don't have time to do them. I'm getting ready. But look, do his arms, both of his arms under here with a small piece. This is the perfect size for his hat. So we're gonna do that. And then you're probably gonna need to piecemeal his collar, because his collar is different sizes. You know, it's like right there, it's real thin, and then it goes to a 2-inch around the back. But I am so pleased with our day, and I think for as fast as we did that, that was pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and do this one. Let's get this on. I'm going to use the hot glue, I think, just for speed. Look at it, I got fur all stuck in my glue gun. And then we're going to put some bling on him. Oh my gosh, look at that. So far, the fur just is such an incredible game changer. Okay, so then he needs a pretty piece of bling for, let's see, what do we have? About something like this. I don't want to make him, look, oh my gosh, yes. Okay, right there. Right in the dead center. I would say he's feeling pretty darn good about himself. And then after that, then I would take, let me see where the rest of my bling is. Here it is. And I would stick with the gold, and I've got this. Let me put the lid back on this so it doesn't dry out. I cannot believe we got this far. I'm so thrilled. But then I would take this. Is that silver? Yeah, doesn't matter. But I've got, look, this little tiny, this is 2 or 3 millimeters. It might be 2.5 millimeters. You can buy that right on Amazon. I will, when I post the pictures, I always give you all the links for everything I'm using. But anyway, look how pretty that's gonna be. So I'll have that bling on there, and probably we'll do some bling around his man purse. The fur set it off, didn't it? Don't shortchange your chills. Aren't less than 200. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but I try not to, get myself too excited. And I'm gonna do the blue and white check on there. Guys, I'm so sorry I have to go, but I'm really happy with how far we got today. And you can now, after this, you can do this. You can totally do this and talk about incredible Christmas presents for people you know. So I hope you enjoyed today. Now, nobody will be mad at me because I've already got it done, but I'm gonna do the fur, and I'll use this fur on, I'll use this fur on the Nutcracker. But just easy, if you don't have an all white Santa, bond it first. Make sure you have a stain blocking, some kind of a bonding primer. My favorite is Bonding Boss by Dixie Belle. I buy it on Amazon. But you can use spray paint, you can use whatever you want. Use the bling for the tree garland. Yes, that would be pretty too. I will do that. I'll do that in between. I can't wait to show it to you, but I'm hoping I'll get him done later on today when we get back home. I love the blue and white too, so much. The gold, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed when I got done with it because it doesn't pop like I was hoping it would. Maybe the fur will make a difference, Maybe if we gave him, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to do chain, you know, right here. And then I have the, what are they called? The shoulder, what's it called? It's a P. Anyway, I'll think about it. All right, love you guys so much. Yes, I do. I'm hoping everybody has the tools they need. I feel like we did, and you can do it. So have a great day. I will see you guys sometime next week. I'm traveling to Florida for my dad, but I will schedule one with you guys next week. So, but I don't know what day it'll be. The links will be posted. Yes, I'll do all the posted. All right, love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.